Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you have already been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Kalina and I'm an expert in public relations and mass communications. And before we get to the actual topic, I would like to invite you to like and share this video and also subscribe for my channel if you like my content, because you will support me very much. I really want to grow this channel and reach more people so that I can help more people with those topics. So now we're going to talk about a principle of manifestation that is very interesting to me, and I have dissected it and I think I figured it out what it is all about. So you can write down in the comments if you have done this, if it has worked for you, and if you think I'm right or wrong. But let me explain to you what I think it is all about. So our nervous system basically recognizes patterns. And when we say you need to see the version of you that you want to be, and you need to see it from like first hand as if it is you, from first hand experience, and that is how you will attract what you want, and that is how you will manifest. This is actually about conditioning your nervous system, because when you do that, your nervous system is pretty much recording a pattern. It is you're living in your head what you want, and your nervous system is recording it as patterns. For example, there was something very wrong that I was doing when I had my anxiety, and I still do it occasionally, but it doesn't happen. I recognize it and I stop it right away. So what I was doing is I was always anxious about things that could happen, but sometimes I would think about situation that is in the past, that has already happened. And I was thinking, okay, but what if I had said this other thing? And it's something that I never said, something that never happened. But I would think, okay, it went well, but what if it didn't? What if it went this other way that was wrong? What if I said this other thing and people thought I'm stupid? Or what if I didn't answer the question correctly? Or what if instead of this other thing happens? And I would actually look back at the situation that it's already in the past, everything went well, or maybe not the best, but well. It could have been much worse, and I would go through it over and over again, and I would think, okay, it could have had this outcome, that other thing could have happened, I could have said this other thing that would make me look stupid. And by doing that, this is something that my nervous system picked, and it recorded as if I was living it right away. Because your nervous system, when you are imagining things, you're using your imagination. And by the way, I'm not a nervous system expert and I'm not a psychologist, so I want to be clear about this. I'm a PR expert, so this is the perspective that I'm talking about this from, because PR experts were using techniques in order to influence people. There are a lot of manifestation specialists that I'm seeing online, and I really want to learn from them about the practices of manifestation. So if anyone understands this better, please write down in the comments if I'm getting it right, so that we can create a discussion and actually help me and others understand it. But basically what was happening in this situation, when I had my anxiety, when I was imagining this situation going other ways that it would have been wrong, my nervous system didn't recognize future or past. It would leave everything as if it is now. So whenever I was recording something in my nervous system, and whenever people in general are recording something in their nervous system, that is experienced for the nervous system as we are living this now, or oh, so this is giving us information about the environment that we have to adapt into. So this is how your nervous system pretty much accepts something that you think about. You're thinking about, you're imagining yourself in this situation in the past that could have gone wrong. You're imagining yourself in this other situation in the future that could go wrong. And your nervous system is accepting this as, okay, this is the environment that we have to deal with, and records it as pattern. And once it records it as pattern, that feels safe. So this is why, let's say in my country we have this recorded pattern, because I'm from a post-socialist society, I'm from Bulgaria. We were a socialist country before, and the thinking was completely against having money, owning property, and right now we're not anymore, but my parents were living into this situation. So they had this as a mindset and I accepted it from them. So it has recorded into my subconscious, and I was actively, and I'm still actively working to redo it. But basically we have this recorded pattern of not having money, and that feels safe for our nervous system. So once something feels safe for your nervous system, for example, I don't have money, is the reality that your nervous system is adapted for, and therefore that feels safe. Now you have the brain that is protecting you, and anytime that you experience something else that is not about not having money, that is about actually having money, the brain wants to get you feel safe again, so it brings you back to the point of not having money. So that's self-sabotage, right? Because maybe you have a job interview for a much better job, but now you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to suddenly feel not confident enough, or you're going to suddenly embarrass yourself in some ways, or you're going to figure out ways to skip that interview or something else. Because your brain, and it may not be about job interview, it may be about something else. It may be about starting your own business. It may be about making a YouTube video. It may be about some other things that your brain will basically sabotage you becoming richer and having more money, because your nervous system is adapted for the environment to not have any money. Or it may not be about money, it may be about something else. When they say maybe you want to look better, maybe you want your hair to be better, maybe you want something else, and you want to be certain version of yourself, but there's something else recorded, as a paradigm. Basically it's recorded as patterns into your nervous system. And there's also a lot of influence from media, from social media, from the internet, from our environment, that we pretty much pick up those patterns and they're recorded into our system, and basically that's what feels safe. And now when we want to change, we say, oh, I'm going to manifest this, so I'm going to imagine it, or I'm going to imagine myself having it, or I'm going to imagine myself as the version of me who has it. This is basically you recording another pattern into your nervous system. That is going to be a whole new pattern that you don't even know. Maybe some of those patterns you don't know how they feel, because you haven't even lived them. You haven't been this version. You know that you have the capacity, you know that you have the potential to be this other version of yourself, and now you try to get it recorded into your nervous system so that it feels safe, so that your brain and your actions don't sabotage it, and you can actually safely be this version. And if we go back to the example of I don't have money, or I have money, or I'm rich, or I'm wealthy, and I'm giving this example because this is an example that is kind of popular online, so that was the easiest example to pick. Now you take some time to pretty much imagine yourself from first-hand experience as this version of you who actually is wealthy, who actually have the money. So you take this time, because they say take some minutes and imagine yourself, be this version. Pretty much imagine how it would feel to be this version from first hand, because it would be as you're actually experiencing this. And when you're doing that, your nervous system is picking up as you're actually experiencing it. And it records it as a new pattern, a whole new pattern, that now this is going to feel safe, hopefully, if you do it long enough, or if you create it as a habit to do it. So now it's not that it's going to magically manifest, bam, now you suddenly have a lot of money because you did that for a while. Now when you take action, it's going to be aligned action. You're not going to sabotage it. You're going to safely feel safe going on YouTube video, or you're going to feel safe starting your own business, or you're going to feel safe going to this job interview that you were very intimidated because it is a company that is much larger than the companies that you have worked, for example. Now you're going to feel safe. You're not going to self-sabotage, because you having money is going to feel safe. It's not going to feel as there's going to be a lot of problems, or you're going to be a bad person because you have money, because there's this thinking. No, you're not going to be a bad person. You're actually going to be a person who receives proper money for their work, for example, or who knows their worth and receives the payment accordingly. But because this doesn't feel safe for your system, you tend to sabotage it. And anytime that you go to this interview and you don't even know it because it happens subconsciously, there is this self-sabotage. Because when you say, oh, I don't feel confident, I'm anxious before the interview. Yes, what do you think it's all about? Because your nervous system is safe with the smaller, not having money version, because that's what's recorded. And now when you're re-recording it, when you're imagining yourself as this other version, and you're literally aligning, you're literally recording another pattern as currently lived experience in your nervous system. When you do that, then your nervous system picks up and it says, okay, so that's going to be our new norm now. So this is something that I have discovered recently, because I actually kind of recognized, because I remembered something back in the days, some situation, that I actually started thinking about this situation, but I started thinking as, oh my God, this could have gone so wrong. And it's years ago, And suddenly, as I'm thinking, oh my God, it could have gone this other way, because it was something that it wasn't bad, but let's say there was a bad thing that could have happened, let's say, because again, I was anxiety, And I'm thinking, okay, but it could have gone this other way, and I would literally imagine as if it would go this other way. And this moment, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm currently actually, my nervous system is currently actually experiencing that as if it actually happened, as if it's happening right now. I'm literally experiencing this thing that never happened because of my anxiety. I mean, it's not completely gone. I have to constantly work on it not being gone, but I realized, okay, I'm currently actually experiencing that didn't actually happen, and I'm experiencing, and my nervous system is recording it as a pattern. So I'm literally operating as the anxious version of myself that I want to move on from. And that's the moment that I stopped myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to imagine this same situation, but going a whole different way. not even the way that it went. I'm going to imagine it going in much better way. So I started imagining that same situation going in much better way, and I started feeling different feelings. I started actually, because I was at a public place, I started actually smiling a little, and I was thinking, oh my God, I don't want to start being happy right in the middle of, somewhere. But I was even smiling a little, and I'm like, oh my God, that actually records right now much happier version of myself. And this is when it clicked that when people say about manifestation, you have to imagine it from first hand. That's what could this be. It could be like, now you have recorded a whole different pattern in your own nervous system, and now if you take actions, you're not sabotaging. You're actually acting differently. It's not that something is magically coming to you, it's that you actually act differently with people. You actually take opportunities that you wouldn't have taken if it wasn't for you feeling safe, your nervous system making you feel safe. Or maybe there are things that have already been there and you didn't dare to do, and now you're suddenly doing them. And this is what is getting you ahead. This is what is getting you to the version of you that you want to be. So it's not only the action, okay, I took the action, because when you take the action, sometimes you're holding back. Sometimes it's like, I'm taking the action, for example, with a job interview. I'm going to this job interview, but I'm still a little worried. I'm still a little not really confident enough. I'm still a little like I hold back a little, my energies, I'm worried. Maybe you're shy because you're being assessed. And suddenly you go with not confidence, like you want to make yourself feel confident, because your nervous system feels differently. You go with actual, true, natural confidence. You're going with calmness. You're going with this internal confidence that people can read, and you don't really have to do anything in order to perform it. So this was for today's video. Please let me know what you think about this topic in particular. Do you think I have picked it correctly? Are you, especially if you're somebody that's a psychologist or somebody in that kind of sphere, let me know if this is correct way of thinking. Let me know if that's what the manifestation is primarily about. Maybe because I believe there's also a spiritual aspect. I believe there is spirituality. I believe there is this other side that we have a soul and we're spiritual beings. But I also think that this is a big part of manifestation, like you actually conditioning your nervous system for this other version that you're going to pretty much exist as. And this is how you also manifest things. So let me know if that's true. What do you think on that topic? Have you experienced things like that? And I will be very open, and I will be very happy if you share your experiences. And I'm going to invite you one more time, like the video, share it. You can subscribe for my channel if you like my content. I'm going to keep doing that kind of videos. If you enjoyed them, you're welcome to join this community. I will actually also start a community, because there is like this community part on YouTube. I'm gonna start working with it, because I think we all can create some really good discussions there. And this is it for today. Thank you very much and have a great day.